So Ironheart, We Was Tony Stark, is back, and it's more retarded than ever.
Who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Now keep driving, you black spear chucker piece of shit!
And on top of that, in Avengers Doomsday, we might be in store for another race swap of a beloved character. But before we get into this absolute crap, if you agree with what I say, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon, because it really does help. So you think that Marvel would hold back on the race swaps, but for some reason they're just doubling down and adding more into everything that they pump out. And that's what it is, it's just slop. All of these movies and TV shows, nobody's going to remember in 10 years time. People still remember Iron Man 1 and the first Captain America and Avengers because they were actually entertaining movies that were made for entertainment. And the comics were just a whole different scenario because they weren't slop pumped out for entertainment for idiots and kids to go see in the movie theater. Instead, there were characters and stories that people were actually invested in. The people who wrote and drew DC and Marvel comics cared about the fans and they actually gave them what they wanted, producing so much stories that are better than any Marvel movie ever made. And I'll stand by that. I don't care if you want to say, oh, that's nerdy, you're saying a comic book is better than a movie. Yeah, it is. If you can't pick up one and go read it, then stop talking about the characters. And Iron Man is one of those characters that has insanely good comics that people just gloss over. For years I listened to retarded recommendations speaking about comics that just suck, that you shouldn't be reading. Nobody ever recommends the stuff that really is worth your time, and I'm not going to get into it now because it could be a full video, but the Iron Man comics from the 70s, 80s and even 90s are really underrated and create a character that is super unique. He's not just Batman in a metal suit, and he's not just Robert Downey Jr. quipping and making jokes. Iron Man may be the most underrated hero because everybody knows him, but nobody ever actually reads the comics and even gives him credit. But anyways, now that we've covered that the comics will always be superior, especially in Iron Man's case, we get to Riri Williams, Ironheart.
Bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
Probably the most retarded creation to ever exist, and if you like it, go screw yourself. But just for the sake of laughing your ass off at something absolutely spastic, let's just take a look at the trailer for it.
My stepdad used to say the best way to know a thing, Dad, is to take it apart.
So before we continue on in the trailer, do I have to say it? Her stepdad who died or something. So you didn't actually have a real dad. So this is actually an extremely realistic story about black people. And of course, this is made by the moron who doesn't know how to speak English, Ryan Coogler. The king of making overrated trash.
Your dad's advice. Break yourself down. See what you're made of.
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
Here goes nothing.
Out of all the things you could have built, big brain of yours. What this?
Because I have to.
Might be a hero in there after all.
So everything about this is really cringe and unwatchable. The terrible lines that make no sense from Riri Williams herself and every other retard that surrounds her. The cringe CW villain that nobody knows and nobody cares about. The fact that they put up director of Black Panther Wakanda Forever as if that means something. And also the fact that throughout the entire trailer we're just hearing like a hammer hitting an anvil, like some badass building up music. If you want badass, go back and watch the intro to the 90s cartoon of Iron Man. It's probably the most heavy metal badass thing ever made. And that's what Iron Man is. It's Tony Stark with a mullet, being a badass, putting together armor, not using any nanotech, just smashing it together to take on villains. And the thing is, Iron Man doesn't have a no-kill rule, which immediately makes him more badass than, I don't know, Superman. But if you thought the trailer was cringe, wait until what they play after it ends.
Riri, time to wake up, love. Who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Holy mother of God. What am I watching? What has the character of Iron Man devolved into? What the hell is happening? Go back to the hood, you low IQ retard. Everybody making this TV show is a moron and needs to go screw themselves. I'm not even going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Every single actor, every single writer, producer, director, every single person involved in this abomination needs to go screw themselves. Who thought that this was a good idea? Seriously, black women being sassy to each other back and forth and just being absolute disgusting creatures. Absolutely nobody on planet Earth is going to be watching this, and if they are, they're probably spasticated. But in other news that is slightly less retarded, we have news of another race swap in the Marvel universe. Eyes of Wakanda will officially feature an Iron Fist. Now there's tons wrong with that sentence. Nobody cares about Eyes of Wakanda, whatever the hell that is, and you say an Iron Fist. There's only one Iron Fist. I know in the comics there's different variations and crap, but really it's Danny Rand, the blonde haired guy. That's who Iron Fist is. It's nobody else. And the creator says, but not the Iron Fist you expect. Can we get better at gatekeeping and boycotting and standing up to people like this? But not the one you expect. It's not the one that people expect. It's the one that people want and love. Same with Silver Surfer. You can't say, oh, Silver Surfer is going to be in Fantastic Four, but it's not the one you expect. There's only one Silver Surfer. Stop trying to gender swap and race swap. Nobody wants it. And just to prove that I'm not jumping to conclusions, everybody else is thinking the exact same thing. All you have to do is go to a different news source and they say the exact same thing, but show the picture of the one that is most likely meant to be in the movie, which is a brand new dumbass race swap that was in Marvel Rivals. If we wanted to see a Chinese guy doing Kung Fu, just read Shang-Chi. There's no time for a Chinese Iron Fist. I haven't read every single Iron Fist comic. I've read some of the original stuff, and I've read the Matt Fraction one, I think, that had a variation of Iron Fist that wasn't Danny Rand, but the guy was actually awesome. A trench coat wearing, dual wielding badass who was white. But they're not going to touch off of that character. They're going to bring in this Chinese guy that nobody cares about. Even the modern audience is going to be confused because they've already watched Shang-Chi. They don't want to see another Chinese guy flipping around. And to be honest, it's not as bad as him being black. I don't have a massive problem with a Chinese main role or anything. But the Shang-Chi movie had Chinese martial arts legends and they just wasted it. You could have made a Bruce Lee style martial arts awesome action movie. But instead, you made Marvel crap slop. And that's what this is going to be as well. And just to end this off, we do have an update about Fantastic Four, which, as I say multiple times every video, nobody cares about except for the fact that it's hilarious to laugh your ass off at it. And case in point, the producer dude here, Grant Curtis, is just speaking out of his ass. Every single time we hear something about him, the dude is proving that he's spasticated. Fantastic Four First Steps is inspired by Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. In what way? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is actually good. Your thing here is a piece of crap that no one likes. And the quote is, Sam always went back to the source material. Matt always looked at it the same way. He clearly didn't, because he made Reed Richards some Mexican taco vendor. And yeah, everything in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is not perfect. There's comic inaccuracies all over it. But it doesn't make Peter Mexican or black, because that makes no sense. And it wouldn't be caring about the source material. So stop lying to the fans of these characters who actually do care about the source material, saying crap like this that makes no sense. Before Spider-Man, Sam Raimi was already a legendary director that made some masterpieces of horror and gore, some of the best to ever come out of the genre, and then he made Spider-Man. Who the hell is the guy making Fantastic Four First Steps? Matt Shackman. I don't know anything about you, other than you have a disdain for white people and people who actually care about Fantastic Four. So I guess it always comes back to the same thing, that these people who direct these movies and produce them don't give a crap about the fans or the source material, and they'll lie straight to your face about it. But it doesn't really matter, because Ironheart is going to be a flop. Fake Chinese Iron Fist is also going to be a flop. And Fantastic Four, although you're going to hear lies about tickets and people loving it, nobody will really remember it or care about it. So yeah, I think I basically covered it. Like, everybody involved with Ironheart needs to go back to the hood and play some basketball or commit some crime. Tony Stark was a genius playboy billionaire philanthropist, and Riri Williams is a fentanyl addict who needs to go back to the hood. So, if you made sense of anything I said in this video and you can see through all of these lies, then do let me know. Maybe consider subscribing. And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.